Y'all up for a little midnight special, huh? You know, most people, they're just not going to understand. It was like my going to Jesus meeting this morning. It's not so much having this power is absolutely, it's the power to heal yourself and others. That's where people get a misconception, get misdirected. Your power to heal yourself and others was taken from you, your birthright. Do you have to work for your birthright? Well, how else do you work for your blessings from the divine? It's just what it is. Let's do a quick energy read, shall we? Shall we, huh? Y'all up for that? And I fully agree. You are not responsible for what other people think of you. You are responsible for how you feel about you. The more you heal yourself and others, the more you enjoy healing yourself and being a healing blessing to others. Who is that going to be a problem for? The people that don't want to heal, obviously. I was in a position for a long time where I thought I would never heal. I thought that getting better was a figment of my fucking imagination. I didn't think it was even possible. And I'm probably sure a lot of people around me thought the same thing. Till I found 2,500-year-old information and started practicing it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. It's called the land of the immortals for a reason. What is the difference between the land of the immortals and the land of heart disease? Instant gratification. God us all that it is, angels, archangels, and the ascended masters of divine light. It has to be a clear and infinite channel for your wisdom at this time for myself as well as those readings for Namaste. Says we clear out this energy that's just all over the board. It's a little bit of everywhere. It's over here. It's over there. It is everywhere. We're going to keep our focus on love, on light, on health, on wealth, on abundance, and on calling it back to us in mystical and magical ways. What you put out comes back to you, and it seems there are a lot of people out there catching their karma. It's good to see that the Pisces Sun 888 is receiving good karma. And people aren't going to understand that. They don't know all of the work that you have put in. They don't know all the classes that you've taken. They don't know that when other people's truths have to set you free, something is wrong with. There's nothing wrong with you. There is something wrong with those me's. It's just what it is. Left brain, right brain, and subconscious mind. The top row is the fifth dimension, moving down through time and space to the third dimension. Are my cards in the upright? No. Cool, we'll flip those around. The predominant question on everyone's mind is, there lies the word in spirit. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. And I mean, that's the thing. Having to put up boundaries, blocks, and whatnot, there's two ways to look at that. You don't want some of those people to go forward with you, and that's just what it is. They have to sit in their unhealed ways, in their lies. They have to eat their lies, because that's the thing. If I have said anything that's a problem anywhere in the community, when you got these girls talking about they're going to have to go one by one to everyone and apologize for, it's what it is. I don't need apologies. I have already forgiven them. It is of no concern to me. They are not masters. They did not master their craft. They did not have a clue about what they were doing. They were all ego. Narcissists in the flesh, staring only at themselves, not caring about others, not worried about the healing aspects or the knowledge in truth. You got a friend in me. It's a whole new world with harmony and balance for all to see. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. I really am, because it's not very often, and it's not so much that you're taking your power back to cause problems for anyone else. It's that when you take your power back, it causes problems for everyone else. Everyone else that did not want to see you take your power back. Everyone that did not care about healing themselves or others. Oh my goodness. It's the beautiful part. They can't figure out why it's not working because they're going up against the strongest force in the world, love's intent to help or heal others. It's just what it is. They cannot teach you anything. These feminine energies are disgruntled. They are gold diggers. They are clout chasers, and they are upset in every way, shape, and form. That's what it is. You don't want to rub it in, but petty Pisces just do. Ladies, there's not one of these men out there that you ever used your intuition to help that did. Man, you don't know what you're talking about. How many times have you been told that? Just put it down in the comments. Me. Let me know. How many times have you told something out of the goodness of your heart what was coming for them, and they just didn't give a shit? They totally discredited you, totally pushed you to the side, and then fell right into a brick wall looking like the Chick-fil-A girl, and that was your man. Just what it is. Sometimes it is better off to be upright and alone. So just what it is. These women from the past cannot teach me anything. The women of the future absolutely can. Absolutely can. The men and women that are coming into the future are going to be educators of the new world. They will be having perceptions, methods. I would consider most of them to be children. I think we're going to learn more from the new crop of kids that come in than any. Can you remember when you were a child? Remember how you could work the VCR and your parents had no clue, and then when you got older, your kids could download and erase apps and shit so that they didn't get caught. Playing with apps. I've seen it happen. Not with my kids, but I've seen it happen. Rubbing it in. Masculines in the upright are seeing the fights all around them. These women are furious. These envious exes just knew that they were going to win at all costs, and it cost them everything to win what they got. I mean, it's what it is. You can only go as far as God will let you before. Oh, no, not today. Are we going to fight with that? Do I need another card? No, thank you for that, Spirit. Master in the upside down situation? Yeah, it's due because they didn't attune. They didn't do the work. They don't meditate, and it'll say that here in the cards. That'll come out before this is all over with. If you don't meditate, you're not going to... it's the key. The key to all of this mind, body, and soul work is meditation. It's what it is. You can't sit around self-reflecting, right? It leads to unhealthiness, right? People have to look at themselves in the mirror now and go, oh God, I wasted all of my time doing this, that, and the other, and now I'm unhealthy and have to start where we started years ago. That's a good place to begin. You got a friend in me. Family's in the upright. So it's what it is. You'll have upright family situations. You'll have upside down family situations. However, that is the thing. We're more worried about all families instead of just our own. All the upright families deserve all of the same rights, abilities, chances, that everybody else does. But what you run into problem with is people only care about themselves and what they can do to other people. Some people only care about themselves so that when their cup overflow, they can help other people. Oh, they don't like that. No. Your takers do not like your givers. Your takers do not like your givers because takers fill their cup up and just keep taking. They just keep taking, and that's fine. That's fine. That's generally who gets mad at me. And that's what it is. We're coming into harmony and balance in all aspects of our life. The lack of faith that they had in us is what they were fighting a battle that was already won. You're on a divine plan. It's a divine purpose. Pisces 888 Karma Angel is on their divine purpose. Yeah, that's everyone getting karma. Expect the unexpected. Things can change at any moment, right? The people that you have to worry about are the ones that are mad at me catching karma too. It's what it is. No one is safe. Put your heart into your work. It's what it is. Having upside down teachers creating upside down situations have now brought in upright men and flying monkeys that are absolutely going to swoop in. It's what it is. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Right? Not my trap house, not my SWAT team. It's just what it is. Thank you for that. We're taking our power back. Thank you. What works for the best, for the highest good of all, is always going to be the determining factor. When I hear someone, and I don't care about competition, I don't care what their business is, healing yourself and healing others will always be for the highest good of all, any way you look at it. Any way you look at it, healing yourself and healing others will always be for the highest good of all. If they don't give consent to that, hey, great. That's still for the highest good of all. The faster they move out, the less room they take up for the rest of us. It's what it is. It's what it is. They make their own choices. Everyone makes their own choices. You're not responsible for the choices that other people make that don't let them survive. We're not, they're fighting, right? They're fighting. Their prayers haven't been answered. It's just what it is. When you go with unanswered prayers and you don't have faith in universal law steps in and makes you a believer. It's just the way it goes. And can't no one stop that. Can't no one stop that. We are seeing very, very, very paranormal things happening at this current time of ascension because you have waves of volunteers that came here. We've done the soul work. We've had the past lives. We're learning as we go what we're supposed to do. Don't have all of the answers yet. Everybody is going to be waking up that their time was wasted. They were breadcrumbed by groups that were taking you away from yourself so that you could focus on them. It was a personality. It was a talent show. It was a personality contest. Period. They did not want you to focus on you. They were telling you what they did and how they did it, and what works for them will not work for you. It works for them. The only thing that is going to work for you is what works for you. Period. Do they nurture that on an individual basis, or do they get up there on a stage show like they've sold their soul to the devil, glamorizing? It's what it is. I spot that. I taught that shit before I started teaching healing. They're karmics. We're removing the karma. It's what it is. The last thing they want is higher consciousness stepping in that gives a shit about everything except itself. That martyrism, it's what it is. We knew that volunteering to come to the Earth School was going to be a suicide mission. Look around. Right? Ask yourself, do you want to do all of this again? The only way we got here is through the wheel of karma. Period. What we are all waking up to, Pisces, pay attention to your dreams. Dolores Cannon, QHHT. Right? My biggest thing, anyone who doesn't believe in what Dolores Cannon taught hasn't had a QHHT session. They will tell you, I don't believe in any of that. Have you had a session? No. Well, then I've never been to Disneyland either, but I believe it exists. And I believe maybe creepy things don't go on at Disneyland. However, if you ask Little Oregon Annie, she was protected by Punjab. The dragon is all about over. The year of the dragon is almost over. Let's get that dragon in there. It's almost over. This is the sovereignty card, GSF, God, sovereign, and free beings. Your sovereignty should be the most important thing to you. Your ability to not have to be in a control system should be all that you're worried about. That's what it is. If you can't control yourself, you have to be controlled. Think about that. Think about that. I don't want to be controlled. Right. Do you want to be around a bunch of people that can't control themselves? I've been there. I'm guilty of it. Well, I had to learn my lesson just like everyone else. You got a friend in me, families in the upright, and an even energy exchange. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Harmony and balance is being restored. The lack of faith, yeah, because people are catching karma. The spirit invocation, black magic was used. The culprits are being eliminated. The love spells, the glamour spells, the death magic, all of these fun things, these things that were occult knowledge that you were not supposed to know about, the veil that has now been lifted, the mass hypnosis that we're all waking up from was done with occult hidden knowledge and magic. Thank you for that, Spirit. The upside down teachers that put their heart into failure, their manifestations are not coming in. They just knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that showing a little egg would get them somewhere, right? Show a little brains. Show some healing. Show some results. Show some results of your own. People are going to, it's a power grab. They're going to be You're a phoenix rising from the ashes. Your legs are dangling they're just reaching up, trying to grab your feet because they want to ride your comet tail as you're taking off, and they don't realize while they're doing this grab for individualism, because each person is on their own path. Right? Trying to grab hold of someone else's path makes you the ashes they rose from. You're supposed to rise together. Masculine over top of the power. Yeah, they're not going to show any compassion. I mean, it's just what it is. Some of these things, some of these betrayals and whatnot, I mean, you could say they're unforgivable. However, once you forgive them, you have done all you have to do. That's what is unforgivable to them. They betray you, you forgive them, but then they can't forgive you because they betrayed you, but you forgave them and didn't care. Backwards. It's a backwards society that you're waking up from. Everything was told to you in a backwards manner, so you were easy to control from the truth. They showed you this while they did this because this is what works while it didn't work for you. It's why you're where you're at right now. I do the opposite of everything they tell me to do, and they can't figure out how the hell I do it. Oh, he's crazy. Yep, doing the opposite of the norm, going against the grain, doing what unsuccessful people don't do. That's the shit I do. Absolutely. As crazy a manner as I can pull it off. They're fighting mad. Their prayers haven't been answered, and intuition's in the upright. Right? You got to keep in mind, everything that was your natural God-given ability was stripped away from you. The Christians were told the third eye was the mark of the beast, to take their power away, it's what it is. Just look at the difference between what they told you and what Japan's been teaching but where Jesus went and learned it from. What Jesus did and what he told all his followers could be done. I am my Father. Right? It's a lot of truths coming out. However, it always goes back to the source. When you trace things back, you don't go to the beginning of the book. You go to the beginning before that book was written. That's one of the biggest things about being a creator, a God-conscious creator, a Christ-conscious creator, a super-conscious creator. When you have something this big, a book, 1.5, 2 inches thick, it has spelling words in it. The Bible tells you witchcraft and fortune telling and tarot, and all of that is bad. Yet all of this comes from the source of the power of the written word. It is the word of God. They're not lying to you. A God-conscious creator wrote it, prophesized it, Fortune told it. Use their intuition to spellbind your soul, to die for the convictions within that book based on the beliefs of the shepherd. And every religion's the same. They're all great. Don't get me wrong. However, if you're going to follow the law of attraction, if you're going to follow any of that shit, okay, great. What does it attract? It attracts sinners. It's the corral. It's jail every Sunday. I'm not even going to put it like that, but it's everyone's the same. They each use the same tools that were taught to them in a watered down fashion that all come from a source consciousness. Dolores Cannon, she was able to tap into the voice that I tap into in a QHHT session is the same voice that wrote every book. Every book on the planet was written by that voice, the voice of God. Look into the works of Dolores Cannon and see what we do in a QHHT session. Right? That was the most fascinating thing that drew me to Dolores. She takes down Jean-Pierre in France. She traveled around the world doing these demonstrations. She takes Jean-Pierre down into a subnomalistic trance. When she would get the voice or the higher self to come out, when that voice would come out, after she'd done therapy with the patient, she'd ask it, do you have any concepts? It spoon-fed her concepts for over 20 years. How did it spoon-feed her? It would give her some information or a concept. She'd wake that patient up, fly from France to Dallas, Texas, do another session, take Scott down into a session, and when she called in the higher self, after she did the therapy, she would ask it, do you have any more information for my book? And it would pick up with the concept where it had left off in Jean-Pierre. Imagine the shock in Dolores's. What am I seeing here? We were just talking about that over here, and now here I have flown here, and you're picking it like she went and sat down in a Starbucks in a different country with a friend and started off the conversation right where she left off in France. So it's what drew me in more than anything else. The distance, the karmics, they're not putting in their nurturing touch. It's what it is. They don't know how to nurture themselves or others. Those are red flags. Right? It's what it is. We are all learning how to take care of ourselves in a new world, period. Everything is changing at an exponential rate. We have achieved sovereignty, and we don't even have to remove the negative energy. The trash is taking itself out. The energy exchange that's in the upright has brought on a change of consciousness. People are hearing information that they've never heard before. I only focus on the information I have never heard before. I spend lots of time up until here lately studying things that I had never heard before. I don't do the same thing over and over and over again expecting a different result. One of the biggest problems Pisces has is they can do anything, but if they don't focus on one thing, right, and they try to use that to their advantage, okay, great. I focused on something else and higher consciousness got me there. Look at that. However, having these black magic backlashes, having these love spells backfire, having these glamour spells backfire, having people mad at Pisces, be it me or any other supernatural Pisces that sees through that illusion, love and truth are the only thing that set you free from the wheel of karma. Fear and karma hold you in the wheel. If you can't tell the truth, it's because you're afraid. If you can't remove the karmic contract, it's because you still have a lesson to learn. If you're by yourself, focusing on yourself, having neutral interactions, I go out and talk to people all day long. It's a very neutral conversation. People I've never met before, and it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. They have no clue about my past. They have no clue about my future. They're just nice, normal people right in the center of the moment, right? And then it's a neutral, when you separate your energy, it was a neutral meeting. They never think about me again. I never think about them again, and there's no karma. There's no karmic lesson to learn. You steal someone's energy, they're living rent free in your head. That means there is a lesson to learn. What is it about you that was triggered? What is it about you that allowed them to steal your energy? When they do underhanded things behind your back in this spiritual sense, they're getting karma. When I call my energy back, that's the easiest way I can figure it out. Right? You wouldn't think people would do something like that. There too, again, you wouldn't think an INFJ that uses both sides of the brain. When I activate this Merkaba and it calls energy back, that energy is coming from somewhere. And there's nothing I can do about that other than stay balanced and know that I'm not doing anything any different than anyone else. I was just attuned to it and they weren't masters. It's what it is. How many of you have ever set out and okay, so you're a gymnast. You have practiced hours and hours and hours of doing somersaults, and someone comes in and goes, "Hey, man, I can do a backflip. Can I use your springboard?" And it's not my springboard. I don't know. You turn your back, they run over there and jump on the springboard, do a flip, and break their neck. Who's liable? I can't even think of an analogy to use to explain what I have a feeling is going on based on what energy readers are telling me. I mean, I had an idea, but I'm pretty sure it's way worse than that. So, manifestations upside down. Yeah, you can't show gratitude. You have to cut the energy off completely. You can't feed into it. It's what it is. All lessons have been learned. It's what it is. Only the strong survive. It's what it is. Right? Until I have full understanding of what is going on out, and I'm not responsible for what's going on outside of me, but as we're all starting to see, when that vitality and resources go down, it all comes back to the source. Love is all there is. That's what these tarot readers are trying to tell you. They were stealing intellectual property that was God, force, love's intent to help or heal. Okay, great. If you're not generating that on your own, what are the repercussions of that? Karma. I told them when I invested with these people that it can only be used for positive healing purposes. Taking advantage of people is negative, not healing purposes. You lose your gift. You'll do all that work to get going, and then bloop, your vibration will drop. You'll be too stressed out. You'll be too in fear of trying to make $1. That's what it is. It disrupts your peace and takes away your ability. Intuition, yeah, all over money. Money is upside down for these people. Okay, understandable. Generate your income, right? My income was stifled and blocked. We had to save what we got. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. Someone's finances is no one else's business. However, that seems to be the topic of concern in the Pisces collective. Well, hell, Pisces, I want to buy you coffee. Let's go sit down and talk about your finances. See how good you're doing. People are worried. They are fighting and they are worried over some lies, waking up to the truth. They don't meditate. We knew that was going to come out. Unanswered prayers, no meditation. Spiritual fighting, spiritual warfare, and everybody's worried now because of karma. Intuition's in the upright and the emotions are balanced. Emotions are in the upright. Everybody's wealth is upside down, and the divine feminine female energies are in the upright as the end result. So, that's what it is. Way to go, High Priestess! Way to go, Empress energies. Way to go, Queens. Way to go, divine feminine energies. That's That's what it is. Male or female, it doesn't matter. Just because that was the predominant, just because the end result was a predominant woman, great. Then that means the heart is open to love for the predominant women to come in and take over this planet. That's what it is. The easiest way to take over a planet is to be born on it. You know, I posted something on Facebook either today or yesterday. Hello, Clarice. That to me, that's power. Clarice, that was power. That was world changing. The shit that she went through, that is what Madame Takata went through after getting up off of the operating table and becoming the only, well, not the only, but the first. You know, the story of Madame Takata, it's one of the most inspirational stories you could possibly find. She was a public speaker, an author, an artist, a healer, the very first master of Reiki, female, right? Brings the knowledge over here to America, Hiroshima, right? World War II. Why are the 3 waves of volunteers here? Ta-da! That's what it is. Namaste.